Saturday. We are again here in Chris's hotel room. It is a little after 9, and this is day 3 of the test.
Yes.
For the record, I received a phone call this morning from Christopher around 7 o'clock, 6:30?
Something like that, yeah.
Right. Where he explained to me that he received a lot of information from Susie last night, but he did not receive any information about where we were going today, and that, I want to recount what I remember, and secondly, that Susie told him that the information from where we were going today was to be found in the 3 sets of dreams that he has done, the 3 sets of 10 dreams that he did over the past few months before coming here. When I first heard that, I said, what? I said, why wouldn't Susie give you the information, or why wouldn't somebody else give you the information? And Christopher asked me, he said, gee, can we use these data? And I said, of course. If that's what Susie said, then we have to go by what you received that night.
Absolutely.
And we have to follow through the procedure, whatever it is.
Right.
And I told Christopher to go through the day 3s for the 3 sets of days, and then those 3 sets of where he had the day 3, and then to produce the fundamentals for those dreams, to write that down on a separate page. And we will put all of this into the computer.
I've done that.
Okay, so that, as well as putting in what Susie, all the stuff that Susie said last night.
Yep.
Then I will call Bill Simon,
Yep.
and we'll
That's
do
it.
the
Okay,
procedure.
that's how I wanted to do it.
Okay, the one thing I wish to add is that coming out of the shower this morning in preparation for coming here, I asked myself the following. I said, why would Susie be doing this?
Yeah, that's me too.
And what occurred to me is that what they are doing is they are pushing me to take seriously what you've done prior to coming. Because right now I've not wanted to deal with 2 to 3 months before this trip.
No, 'cause
I have enough difficulty dealing with just a night before.
Yeah.
But what somehow the spirit world has done is insisted that I, Gary Schwartz, pay attention to this.
You think that's what it is?
I'm entertaining it as a hypothesis.
Well,
I also said to myself that if this works, then I am absolutely forced to believe that Susie's here, that there's intelligence going on here, and that this whole arena is real.
Right.
And that's why this is a very big test.
Okay. One interesting thing that I want to say, because I did I set out to do 3 days spread out of the test. So I would do 1 to 10, 1 to 10, 1 to 10.
Right.
It didn't work out quite like that, because in the first series I don't think I got to 10. But what I have noticed, and I haven't collated all that data, you can do that when I go home.
Right.
What I have found is that I did day 3 4 times.
Okay.
I did day 3 4 times.
Okay.
And no other day did I do 4 times, and some days I only got once.
Okay.
I think I did.
How could you have done 4 days of day 3 but not done 4 days of day 2?
Absolutely. What I did, and I've written it all down.
Okay.
On the 5th of July, I did it. And for some reason or other, I don't know why, whether I just forgot, because when I turn these over, I don't really look at it.
Oh, so you did 3 days in a row?
I did it again on the 7th.
Oh my God.
And in between, I didn't do anything to do with the tests.
Okay.
So what I'd done is somehow, I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, we do have 4 sets of data
Okay.
for day 3 prior to today.
Okay.
So we've got 5 sets.
Okay.
Right. I'm going to start on the 13th.
Okay.
And I think you don't have to have too much of this, because
No.
I'm going to leave the book here.
I know, but let me just
But you need to have it.
Right. Okay.
Right. And that day started with a slaughter.
Okay.
There was a massacre or something. This was dreadful. Slaughter of the lambs, not very old, all been shot. Right?
Okay.
And this was just, I don't know. And then I'm in a school and a classroom, and I'm being taught. This is a lesson. Day 3 is a lesson about slaughter.
Okay.
That's the 13th of June.
Okay.
and I'm talking to the teacher,
Okay.
which I find quite bizarre sitting here right now.
Okay.
And then there are teeth and a dentist, and someone is playing with teeth. Now the only thing that happened the next day was my daughter Danielle I had to take her to the dentist. So maybe that part of it could fit that.
Right.
But I think from what I've seen it also had another meaning.
Okay.
And we'll turn that page, and on the other side I have more stuff. And I've got things growing in the ground, and it's like rice or tapioca or something. And there's a dog, and it's going to attack. Now that would be IRA in London, so I'm not going to go into that. I'm not interested in that. But it would be interesting. We've already had one IRA attack this week. Maybe this is because I'm focusing. When I'm going to be here in Arizona, I'm seeing things that happened to me here in Arizona. But I'm not interested in that.
Right.
And I'm really not interested in much more of those dreams. But you will have them.
Okay.
But it's to do with dying and killing.
Okay.
And a lesson.
Okay.
And then we go to test 4, so I'm not going to bother with that
Right.
at the moment, okay?
Right.
Then I've marked these pages, so I now go to here,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got the 5th of July.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, and it says test 3.
Test 3 in USA, where will I be taken for it, please?
Okay.
Right?
Right.
And I'm with a friend of mine, all right, who lives in Amsterdam.
Okay.
But I came to Arizona with him in 1988.
Oh, wow.
And we drove down the Grand Canyon to Mexico.
Interesting.
We went from Las Vegas to Mexico.
Okay.
So I'm very interested in that. And that's more or less what I was dreaming. I was driving with him, so I'm being reminded of when I was here before.
Okay.
I didn't come to Tucson, we were right over Yuma side.
Okay.
But that's what happened. That's when I've been here before.
Okay.
And the interesting thing about that trip is that on that trip I sat in the aeroplane leaving Heathrow Airport, and as we were getting ready to take off, I saw a flash in the floor. And I asked everybody sitting around me, all my friends, did you see that flash in the floor? And everybody said, no. And I asked the stewardess, I said, there's a hole in the floor, something, I just saw a bright flash of light come out the floor. And she sort of went round and moved the seats and rocked them. She said, it's quite solid, sir. She said, there's no crack in the floor. So I thought, okay. When we got in the plane, I actually took some photographs of us getting in the plane.
Mm-hmm.
And that plane was a trip to Seattle. That plane was called the Maid of the Seas. That was the plane that blew up over Lockerbie. A bit later that year.
Same plane?
Same plane.
Wow.
And the investigations of all of that turned out that the bomb was in that part of the plane because it was... But not only that, the day of Lockerbie, I was talking to a policeman in London about a plane that I thought had a bomb on it that was blue and white, but we won't go into that.
Yeah, no, because we're say mostly on the...
Yeah, but anyway, so that's that. Now let's move on to the...
The third.
No, the third one.
Right.
Test 3, USA. I did it again. The road was closed. I couldn't go down it. Right? And there are more dogs and there's more terrorists. I mean, I would be amazed today if we didn't go somewhere where people had been killed and there's a lesson to be learned, and a school or a learning centre or something, because I'm now in a school again. So I've got school again. So there are fundamental strings running through.
Okay, and you'll summarize them.
I've done that.
Good.
So that's 3, isn't it?
Yes.
Number 4 was the 16th of July.
Okay.
And I was taken to a place, and I was shown an old gun, and there were lots of spirits there, and I was taking photos.
An old what?
An old gun.
Okay.
And there was braid, and I've got a $1,000 note. That's grand again.
Mm-hmm.
So grand is a key word that I've written down, and I'll go into that in a minute, because Susie said it, I think, 4 or 5 times last night.
Wow.
So anyway, that's it.
Okay.
We can analyse it later.
Right. And it's
and
there.
we'll now go to my summaries.
Okay, let's go to your summaries.
All right, because otherwise... Right, this is last night.
Okay.
And for the record,
hold it a second.
we've changed papers.
Yes.
Because we couldn't find a folder that fitted my English size paper. So what I've done is all the dreams up until last night, I've repunched the paper and put them in this folder.
Okay.
And that's easy to see.
Okay.
And I used that paper for last night still,
Okay.
because it wasn't on the record that I'd changed.
Right.
So for last night I still used the same paper, but for tonight we will be switching
To the new paper.
to the new paper.
Okay.
And it's on the record before I do that, and
Okay.
I felt that was an important piece
Good,
of
good, good, good,
evidential
good, good,
chain.
good. Perfect.
Okay? I start the dream with a question. Susie, thank you so much. Please tell me where I am going to be taken for test 3 tomorrow with Gary. Please make me write it here tonight. And the first thing is I'm having an injection in my mouth.
Okay.
I'm at a dentist. I've had teeth before, I've had head before, oh boy.
Right.
So,
Now had you read what you had done for the past?
no, I
okay.
didn't look at it until this morning.
Okay.
I deliberately didn't want to remind
Gotcha.
myself, because I didn't
Good.
want to colour
Right.
my dreams with things from months ago.
Good.
All right, so that was a purposeful thing.
Good.
Anyway, and now I'm laying down somewhere and something's going on. This is like cowboys and Indians or something, I'm not sure. But I'm laying down, lay down and hide while 2 horses return home.
Okay.
That's what it says. And so then I'm standing in a queue with somebody. And there's something to do with getting a pair of jeans. Actually, we laughed about something about a pair of jeans talking to you earlier this week, because I did remember that there was something about a pair of jeans before. I've dreamt it again. I haven't looked to find that particular piece, but it's in there somewhere. And the next thing is, there's a big video machine, and the tape has got all twisted around the head. So we've got head again. We've got dentist, head, injection in, we've got head again. Head is a key word.
Okay.
And then I've got 20 grand, 20,000. Grand again. And head again.
Okay.
Alright? So head and grand, mouth, face, something like that. But school and learning too, this is a lesson. And then I'm sorting through all these boxes. Tell them you were just doing a favour. You're not going to do that again. And then I was somewhere where they put new carpet down on the floor. The old carpet was green, I remember, and the new carpet was purple. But the old carpet was still underneath, and we were actually laying carpet. And we were sitting, and then we sat, then I laid on the carpet. I actually laid out on the carpet, and there's this thing, this shape or pattern. And I'm drawing lines, and I'm highlighting lines, and it's to do with charts. And the carpet in the room, purple, the old one was green. I've written it all down, it's all in here.
Okay.
Okay. They all asked your purpose. Now, lots of people since I've been here have asked me what I think this is all about, and I don't know.
Okay.
Um,
Now this you're getting from Susie last night.
This is coming from Susie.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is not related to where you're going.
Well, I don't know. I think there are one or two few keywords in there.
Okay, you'll
but
tell
I
me.
don't think she's actually shown me, like before, where I'm going.
Okay, and that's
This is going to come from keywords.
okay. I got you.
This
She
is-
told you.
Yeah. The other
Okay.
ones I saw. I mean, I saw shops. I saw.
Right.
That's all visual. This is cryptic. This is lessons.
This is lessons. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we'll see.
And then it says, they all asked you the purpose. Why are you being brought in unison with the Grand Master to heal the world? The only way to do that is with demonstrations that leave those observers suffering in awe and wonderment
Okay.
of what they witnessed.
Okay.
Someone has to be the Grand Master's servant. Otherwise, the pathway you show, well, I've got slow, but it must be show, them is not heeded now. The world will be doomed ab initio.
Okay.
No, but say it like that. So perhaps I've spelt it wrong.
Ab initio. She heard that. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever that means. Okay.
That's something you're doing. That's why you're doing this. Use the old data, some sort of a hill, and then twins and Gemini and stars. And then 10 plus her. Yesterday I told you one of the stores you went to was a pet shop. So what did my dearest Gary purchase? A pet, a dog. The whole purpose of this is to leave these writings behind when you go home to England, so that the wisdom and understanding of them lives on forever. That's why you don't know in your head where you're going today. Head again. She's playing a game with me. This is a cryptic game, and head again, head.
Wow.
Head. So let's, oh no, we're going to do the summaries.
Yeah, I want to hear the summaries.
Right. This is what I wrote for the summaries. After reading that, I thought, well, I better go through the old notes.
Right.
Because my plan was...
And you did this after I spoke to you this morning?
Yes, I did. Because I wanted to know, if you told me not to do that, I wasn't going to do it.
Okay.
What is true is I had always intended on leaving those notes with you.
Right, I understand.
To either throw in the fire or do whatever you wanted to do.
Right.
Because to me, the fact that I'd even written them, that they formed a part of it in my mind.
Okay.
But what you did was your own business. Right. And I wrote on here, we could not find a binder for A4 paper. That is what we have in England.
Right.
So we changed to this one, right? But I deliberately didn't do that last night, as I said, because otherwise I haven't explained on the tape why there's a sudden change.
Right.
And I felt that was important that I did that.
Yes.
Right, and then Susie said, use the old data for this test. And the old data, the summaries are here. Slaughter, man's head. All dead now, not long ago, pass, queue up to go in, teeth, classroom, grand is a keyword, old guns, hide, leather belt, snake skin or braid. Because the thing that I saw could have been snake skin, it could have been braid, could have been, I don't know what, like the other days, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. And then the new data was lips, right? Having the injection, the mouth, school learning, grand is a keyword again, and there's leather in most of the other dreams and a belt.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. Now, do you have any idea where we're going?
How do I know? Come on. I don't even know the 20 sites.
I know, I understand.
You don't know where we're going, though.
No, of course.
No.
But you have no idea what this would mean in terms of a site.
But I think head and I think by the end of the day we will begin to understand what this is all about, because I haven't been misled so far, and although this is a different thing, I don't believe I'm being misled still.
Okay.
I really think that this is important somewhere along the line.
Okay. What I'm going to now do is call
There we go. I mean, we may go into the dentist, and the dentist is in a university because that's a school. But I don't know. I doubt that. That's just a silly...
Good morning, Bill. How are you? Good. Listen, we are at day 3 of our experiment. So, you know, I'm to do as I do every day, the remaining 8 days, is to call you and ask you to please call this person, male or female, have them open day 3 envelope in the presence of the video camera, and then read the information to you, and then you'll call me back on my cell phone. Okay? Okay, that's all right, because, I mean, let me now, just for the record, put this down on my videotape. I presume that they said that because of his schedule, or her schedule, they ended up having to open the envelope a half hour earlier, because they already left. So they told you this information, right? But you haven't told me this information. So this is the first time that I'm hearing it. And what time is it where you are?
That's interesting. That is fascinating.
Okay. Okay, in Rachel Santa Fe it's 9:26, and that means it's probably 9:26 here. My watch is about 9:30. Okay, so where are we going today?
Why is it 9:26?
Interesting. So what, and that's what it says. Okay, thank you. I will call you later. Okay? remarkable. I'll tell you later. Okay? Thank you. Okay. By the way, I think you got my email this morning about having read the your draft of the, it's, what a wow. Yeah, remember I gave you some minor corrections to them? Okay? Thanks, guys. Bye. Talk to you later. Bye.
I want to show your camera my wife and her friend.
Oh, wow.
Let
me go make sure that I can get it, okay?
I just want to put it on here because these pictures are with me.
Okay. Good, I want to get them. So let me just, 1 second, let me make it closer. Well, turn it up just a little bit so that it's not so glary. Do it some more, bend it more. Ah, perfect. That's wonderful. So that's your wife and
yeah,
friend.
the one in the blue top, this one is my wife and that's her friend Juliet.
Okay.
This is my son, Jerry.
Oh, hi, Jerry.
Yeah, he's gorgeous.
Right.
This is me with my wife and my son, Jerry.
Okay, bend it a little bit further. No, so it's not so glary. That's good. Okay.
This is my daughter, Danielle.
There's Danielle.
And that's my daughter, Melissa, with my wife.
Okay.
Anyway, I just wanted to do that. I don't know why.
Okay. Could you just, for the record, one more time, read the summary information?
The summary information,
I
sure.
just want to, because I want to hear it myself one more time.
The summary information was slaughter, man's, this is old data. Slaughter, man's head, all dead now, not long ago, pass, queue up to go in, something to do with teeth, but teeth in a dream is dead. Classroom, grand is a keyword, old guns, hide, leather belt, snake, skin or braid. And then the new data really wasn't very much other than lips, school, learning, grand, leather, belt, and I haven't written in there but head, because the last thing she said was head. I actually should write in there head, if I can still do that.
Yeah, you can write in head.
Yeah. Because it's the last thing, if you remember, it's on here, I've put it here, but I've just, I've not put it in here, so it should, head should go here.
Right, and just for the record, what was this about jeans?
Yeah, there's a whole load of thing about jeans, making jeans.
Making jeans?
Yeah, making jeans. That's way back, but then there's buying jeans. But if we just take the word jeans,
Okay.
because, you know, do you want me to find it?
Yes.
Something to do with wrapped around the head. Right, the first page. Now, if everything that's followed so far, the first bit I write, if she's telling me where I'm going, it's there. Needle, stick, lip, blah, blah. 2 horses return home, standing in a queue with the lady to
Standing in a queue?
Standing
queue?
in a queue. Q-U-E?
Yeah, what the queue, a line?
A line, yeah, what you call a line, yeah.
Okay.
Waiting in line, yeah, we
Right.
call it a queue.
You're waiting in line.
Right? With a lady. Tell her I can't even get room in my bag for a pair of jeans.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
I don't know what that means. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay, let's go. We are entering Dillard's. This is the way that I enter. This is where we're going today. We are going to the Tucson Mall. And although I do not, and I know that we're supposed to learn a lesson, I do not understand about the heads. But the information about belts and jeans and leather and what else was there? The very first thing that we've entered in the store, much to my absolute disbelief, we are seeing a demonstration of heads. Would you take some pictures of this, Christopher, please?
Are you allowed to take pictures?
Yes, you're allowed to take pictures in the store.
They're going to get very upset.
Just take the pictures. These are heads. I have never in all of my life walked into the Dillard store and the first thing that I've seen are heads. Go ahead. All these heads walked by of the people, and there are these heads. Now, what are these heads? This is crazy.
Oh, wow. On a 10-day research. Cool. And we need a picture of the genes. Because the first thing I dreamt last night was heads. The first thing you saw when we walked into the store was a row of heads. And it's got a fire. And the second thing
This is where I walk through every time I come into the store. And they would not let me take these pictures. And I had to beg the manager, this is the manager, to let me take pictures in the store. The heads are back at the other end, and there are pants and jeans. We will also take the pictures of the leather where I bought my clothing and so on. But that's the men's section back there, which we'll be walking toward. This is clothing.
Maybe, oh, you wouldn't believe what we've been doing for the last week. And we're not allowed to tell you until we publish the study. Oh, sure. And we shouldn't really. We shouldn't have gone into this, but we had to.
By the way, here's our hats for heads. Hats for heads. Also fake leather, for the record. There's Christopher taking pictures of the jeans. And I will buy jeans later. Another hat for the record.
They'll get upset if you take too many pictures.
Tons of hats. There's Christopher's head. We're now in the men's shop of Dillard's. I'm just taking a few more pictures here for the record. Pants, shirts. Those are belts. There's the belts. Count this, and I don't blame him, but it is interesting that the knife shop, which is where they have slaughter, is right next to Dillard's, which is where I walk every day. This is inside the...
There's a dead bear up there.
A dead bear up there? Yeah, there's a dead head. That's right, that's a dead head, isn't it?
There's another head with a skull.
Where?
Over there.
Oh, wow.
And another head with a wolf.
Oh, God, these are dead heads, aren't they?
Yeah, dead heads, yeah.
Oh, dead heads. There are hats. This is a place of slaughter. Especially over here, if you look at all these tools. Now, this is right next to Dillard's. This is right next to Dillard's. These are... This is definitely a room of slaughter. Of course, that goes on a head. But the most important head...
Teeth?
Yeah?
Do the teeth.
Where? What teeth?
On the skull.
You know, I guess that's teeth, isn't it?
That's teeth.
That's dentist and teeth. There's more teeth. You think he needs a dentist?
Oh, okay.
That guy has teeth too. Okay, and just for the record, this is the entrance to Dillard's. I'm not going to go in to shoot, but there's the men's department. Shoes are over here. This is all leather. And just for the record, this directly next to Dillard's is the slaughter place where there is a head. Slaughtered animals and heads. There are more of the heads there. And I just want to go around the corner here because right around the corner is, and I'm walking, jewelry, and apparently there was at least one mention to gems and diamonds. But most interesting is, as soon as we go from there, we then get to what? We get more hats and belts, heads. Okay.
Let's call it off.
Let's call it off the tape. It is now approximately 20 to 1 or so on August 4th. We have just returned from the Tucson Mall. where we entered through the place that I virtually always enter, which is the first floor, the bottom floor of Dillard's department store. And when I had originally listed the Tucson Mall as one of the 20 places, I had not thought about the normal routine that I go to, nor did I think about the stores were immediately adjacent to where I enter, which is Dillard's on a regular basis. And we're going to review what the information was, that the primary information that Christopher had put down as what we called the fundamentals. And then we're going to talk about all of the pieces that seem to fit that and what pieces, if any, don't. So Christopher, do you want to review, first of all, what you said the fundamentals were?
Right, they were at the end, weren't
They
they?
were at the end.
Right. The old data was heads, or man's head, right, which took me to school. Something all dead now, but not long ago. Teeth, classroom. Grand is a key word. Old guns, hide, leather, belt, snakeskin or braid.
Okay. And what about the new data?
The new data was, it showed the injection in the mouth, which leaves you numb.
Mhm.
But I wrote lips
Mm-hmm.
or head, school, learning, grand is a key word, leather and belt.
Okay. And we then added jeans.
I didn't write it there. It was the, no, I didn't add it.
You didn't write it down when we talked about it at the end of the day? Okay.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well, I made a comment about that when you said about buying 2 pairs of jeans.
Oh no, it's there. It's just that I didn't think it was going to be.
Right. It wasn't a fundamental.
Yeah, it wasn't a fundamental.
Absolutely.
The way
Okay.
the dream showed it.
Okay. When we came to the Tucson Mall and we went into Dillard's, what were you looking for?
Heads.
And what did you see?
Heads.
Tell
On
us about the heads.
The very first stand.
Right. And what kind of heads were they?
Porcelain, I suppose.
Yeah, there was some sort of heads of actually hairless heads.
Yeah, they were like porcelain heads.
Right. And what I told you was, because I was looking for heads, I could not figure out, since I knew we were now going to the shopping mall, because Bill had told me, I could not figure out how, going into the mall, we would see heads. And the
Very first stand.
the very first stand, which
Right
was
in front of you.
right in front, when you enter the door that I always enter in,
Heads.
had heads,
Yeah.
heads.
Yeah,
And
loads
I
of
was
heads.
immediately shocked, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then after we dealt with the heads, and by the way, I purchased a head, is that correct, as a
That's
memento?
right, you did.
Okay. Then what do we do?
We went through, and the next thing we came to were jeans.
Right, and I told you what? That when you walk through the store, you walk through the men's store,
Yeah.
which includes jeans and belts.
Yeah, their
and,
belts were there.
Right, and when I had heard hide, I thought about shoes,
Yeah, leather I was thinking.
leather,
Anything
exactly.
like- yeah.
And they have leather jackets there?
Yeah, everything's there.
Okay, so all of that stuff was there.
And they
So-
come from dead animals.
And they come from
That
dead
have
animals.
been slaughtered.
Right. However, we then left, and by the way, we had difficulty filming in there.
Yeah,
Because the manager,
it's illegal.
it was
yeah.
illegal, but we finally convinced the manager.
We finally allowed to just take.
She allowed us to
little
take a
bit
few
of film.
pictures. Okay.
Yeah.
We then left, and I was now fairly shocked. Right?
Yeah.
And we walk out of Dillard's, and what do we immediately see on the right
A
next
knife
to Dillard's?
shop.
A knife shop, which I've seen hundreds of times.
And it's full of heads of
And
dead
it-
animals.
It's full of heads of dead animals
And a skull with teeth.
and a skull with teeth.
Yeah.
And I experienced it as a house of slaughter,
Yes.
because they had all these axes
Yeah.
and
And there was a few
Things-
old musket things. Which,
right, things that would kill meds. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, by the way, that hatchet, they showed that two-edged
Yeah.
hatchet. You know what you do with that hatchet?
It's a beheading hatchet.
It's a beheading hatchet.
Yeah, that's what I said
So-
in Berlin.
Right, and I took photographs of that and purchased even a little penknife,
Yeah.
a Swiss Army penknife,
Yeah.
to remind me of that.
Yep.
Okay? Now, what else happened? Anything else that would you say was...
Well, not that I was a fundamental, but
Right.
we went back to the car and you got a tape recorder out to take back.
Right, because I wanted to get it... It
get
was
it
broken.
fixed. It was broken,
And you did
yeah.
not know that I was doing it there, and since I didn't know that I was doing it there because I didn't realize we were going to the mall.
No, that's
There's
right.
only one of 18 possible places
yeah,
left.
Left, yeah.
And you had something about a tape recorder.
Well, it was an upright videotape in my dream.
An upright videotape,
Yeah.
which is exactly what that was.
Yeah. And there was a problem with the tape transport, and it was something to do with the tape was wrapped around something inside and it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't take it apart, but I think if we had done, we'd have found that somebody put a tape in there and it had got stuck around something, then they
Okay.
took it out, and then it had probably been taken back and then sold to you again.
Exactly.
Because that is what I've drawn. I've drawn the tape getting
Right.
crunkled up.
And you had said it was an upright tape recorder.
Yes, upright. I saw it as a video tape recorder.
As a videotape recorder. But
yeah.
this is an audio tape recorder.
Yes, it
But
was
it's
an
still-
audio tape.
But it's still,
But it was still a tape recorder.
and it was still interesting.
And there was a problem with it.
And was a
too.
problem with the head.
Yes. Yeah, the problem we've got is probably right, because when she was trying to wind the tape backwards and forwards, I was thinking of this. I thought, hang on a minute, winding the tape backwards and forwards with a tape transport problem.
Yes,
right?
and that it
And
was.
that is what there was, a tape
Now-
transport problem.
The information about the heads and the teeth and the jeans and the leather belts and so on, all of that was obtained from the previous information. Is that correct?
Not all of it, because it was fundamentals also in last night's.
So it was
But
fundamental.
last night there wasn't an answer without going. Last night's wasn't sufficient to get a fundamental without looking at the others.
And Susie
and
was
then
the one
matching
that.
up.
And Susie said what?
Oh, I've forgotten.
What exactly did she say? Because you wrote down at least what you remember her saying.
Use the old data.
Right. And that's why you had called me this morning.
Yep.
Okay. Now, is it fair to say that the information that you got today would not fit very well the Desert Museum on Monday?
The tape certainly wouldn't.
Right?
The jeans certainly wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
The belts certainly wouldn't. We may have said that people that were walking around with us had heads.
Right.
But that would have been...
That would have been any place.
But
So,
anyway,
right, so it
that
wouldn't
would
have been
applied
specific.
everywhere you went, because people
Exactly.
have always got heads or they're dead, so...
Right, okay. So
So I don't think it could have fitted.
it doesn't fit very well. And
No.
it would not have fit
And
necessarily.
holes in the ground really wouldn't have fitted this one either.
Right, the holes wouldn't have fit this one, and the holes wouldn't have fit the one place that we went to yesterday.
definitely not.
Wouldn't have fit two-back.
No, definitely not.
And the two-back information about the work in the workshop would
Well,
not have...
garages and workshops, when they were cutting out things and fabricating things,
Right.
wouldn't have fitted either of the other two.
Right.
Not in my view.
At least not well.
I'm not a judge, but...
Right, I mean, you know, clothing is certainly fabricated.
Yeah, but we were in the workshops where they were doing it. There was no... They weren't making it.
Right.
And the bit about the pet shop yesterday, and you bought a dog. No. But anyway...
A metal dog.
Someone else would judge this, not me.
Right, I understand.
But typically this is what happens in my life every day, and has done for 12 years.
Right, now just for the record, it is correct that Susie, that you have never in a dream been told to go back to previous dreams.
Never, ever.
Okay. It is also the case that coincidentally you had 2 days...
I had an extra page.
You had an extra page for day
An
3.
extra day, yeah.
Actually, so you did day 3 twice
Yes.
on one of the runs.
Yeah, but
which is
that was just an accident.
well, we don't... None of
Wow.
this else could be just an accident.
Wow.
Except it doesn't seem to be, so if you could
Yeah,
just...
well...
Right. In fact, we could... Right, okay. But... By the way, from a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rate today?
8.
You give it an 8.
Mm.
Okay, and why would you give it an 8 as opposed to a 9 or a 10?
Because I think there's still something missing that's in the dreams that hasn't happened. And if that happens, I'll give it a 10.
But I'm
It's
not
where
talking a
you
10 for the whole day.
Yeah, well,
I'm
some-
talking about only for the site.
I'll give it an 8.
You'd give it an 8 still. So
Yeah.
what piece in the site do you think was wrong?
Unless it means this, and I don't know.
What's that?
I've got needle stick into the lip. Now that is, I told you, it's like a dentist making you numb.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen any needles or any numbness.
Right, but you didn't make it a fundamental.
No, I didn't make it.
I'm
but
only talking
but I
about
still want to
fundamentals.
know why it's there.
I understand.
So if I'd seen a needle, I would have made this a 10.
If you had seen a needle in a lip, you would have made it a 10.
Yeah.
But we didn't look for a needle.
I know we didn't, but I still got a feeling that...
Gotcha, okay. Let me tell you from my point of view. I'm only going by the fundamentals.
Yeah.
for me, by the fundamentals, the clothing, the heads,
Yeah, the heads were
and
really
the
amazing.
slaughter,
Yeah.
for me, was very hard to dismiss, and also the fact that Susie said, look to the prior information.
Yeah.
And I, by the way, for the record, I would rate this between a 9 and a 10 myself. Because there's no question that you were not perfect.
Oh no, that's why I.
But the fundamentals,
The other days I was really.
right. There were no classrooms there, but what you said was
No,
you
I said
thought,
this is a lesson today.
exactly. And what,
Today, I didn't think we were going to go to a classroom.
right.
Today is a lesson.
Exactly. And what is that lesson?
I don't know. It hasn't taught me anything I haven't known for 12 years.
Well, what
Maybe
lesson?
for you, there's a lesson.
Well, to me, there's a huge lesson. Because what I told the tape, if you remember this morning, and told you was that if by going back to the past information and getting the fundamentals that cut across that past information, including the genes,
Including the genes.
that, especially in view of the fact that Joanne Rule, in front of you, said that I need to get genes. And this is really the only place practically
you would go to buy
that
it.
I would buy jeans. I would go to that store to buy jeans.
Yeah.
And Joanne Rule reminded me last night and said she wants me to buy jeans, right? And you said I would get 2 pair, and then I bought these really nice 2 pairs of jeans.
They look good on you.
I'm wearing them right now. You see, look, I'm wearing jeans, but that's after the fact, of course.
Yes.
But the jeans are brought up ahead of time.
Yes, they were brought up ahead of time.
I mean, okay. What I have to do is I said that if this came out to be positive, and I couldn't make sense of the heads at all.
No, neither could I until I saw the damn things in
When
front
I
of
saw
me.
those darn heads, and I can't
I
even
thought,
walk
yes,
into the
heads,
store.
I got heads.
And these are dead heads.
Yeah.
They don't have any legs.
No,
They're just
heads.
sitting there. They're just heads.
Just
They don't
heads.
even have any hair.
No, just heads.
Because they're mannequin heads.
I expected to see heads,
Right.
and I've seen heads.
I'm just, what I said was that I would then have to what? I would have to believe that Susie is somehow talking to you, and that the past and that you can predict the future.
Yeah, but I've known
That's
I
what-
predict the future for 12 years.
I know, but we're talking about the lesson for
You
me.
even
The
spoke
lesson
to
for
one
me.
of my police contacts today.
That's right. In fact, after this, you insisted,
I insisted you speak to a police intelligence officer back in England,
which I did.
which you did.
Okay, is there anything else you think we need for the tape at this point? Is there anything confusing about this? You would like to know more about the lip, and what was this
I want to
weird
know
thing?
about needles in the lip.
Mm-hmm.
If someone has to go to the dentist today, I can dismiss it. But otherwise, I want to know why I wrote needle.
Needle in the lip.
Yeah. Stick it into lip.
What else does, what's before and after it?
Fix is after it in a box. Lay down and hide while 2 horses return home.
Well, that obviously doesn't make any sense.
Now, cryptically, that's 2HRH. That's the royal family in London. Maybe something happens in London to do with horses and the Queen today. If that happens, then I've got something that I can relate that to. Because 2HRH would be pretty significant if I was at home. I would look at that. Horses return home, HRH.
I see. So if this was England, you would have thought of it in a different
Yeah,
term.
I would have thought of it in a different way.
Now, if you were interpreting this not literally but figuratively, lip in the, when you think of...
I would have put that numb,
Mhm.
because that's what they do. The dentist injects you, and it makes you numb, or gum.
Right. And what did I... Well, first of all, my gums are very sore this morning.
Yeah.
My gums are sore
Maybe
this
you're going
morning.
to have to go to, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Oh, you want to know something? Not that it's significant, but yesterday, a medium, a psychic medium, called me and asked me for the name of my dentist, because she needed to go to a dentist.
It'd
But
have
that
to be
doesn't count.
something other than
Okay.
I don't, those kind of things I just throw away.
And so do I. I completely,
I'm
totally agree with you.
interested in fundamentals, if they carry forward, and then you get the same, that's how I've become
Okay.
successful.
Do you remember
hanging
how
to
it was
fundamentals.
when I saw those heads and then saw the...
Oh yeah, the heads were fine. I mean,
No,
the minute that
how
door
did
opened,
I feel?
numb, probably.
I told you I felt ill.
Yeah.
I told you I was nauseous. I felt ill. In fact, I sat down, if you remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
I
mean,
was
the
very
heads were
numb.
good. I mean, I was expecting to see heads.
So
we
the
saw
question...
a human skull. We saw a bear's head,
Okay.
and then the mannequin heads, and
Well, the mannequins are really
Loads
big
of
ones.
heads,
But the
loads of
question was, did you... when would you interpret needle in the lip as a figurative as opposed
First
to literal?
of all in the day. First thing that happened in the day.
Was that before the
It's
heads?
the first thing we wrote.
Before
yeah,
heads.
long before us, yeah. Yeah. Oh, maybe it's that. But
So you wouldn't. So you would interpret it as literal before you would interpret it as
yeah,
figurative.
Yeah, yeah. I would do.
Okay.
The way that is. I would do. I'm still expecting something like that to turn up, but I don't know.
Right.
I'm trying to think. I mean, needle, stick it into the lip. Is that hypodermic? No, it's needle. It's xylocaine. It's an anesthetic. It's numb.
And what happened immediately after that?
Lay down and hide while 2 horses return home. Now I do 2 horses return home is cryptic, unless we'd seen horses this morning, which we didn't. That's 2 HRH, right?
Then what? What?
Standing in a queue. That's a line with a lady. Tell her I can't even get room in my bag for a pair of jeans.
Right, for a pair of jeans, not
Yeah.
2 pair.
Yeah, not 2 pair. No, the 2 pair I think was somewhere else.
Right. So
On one of the other days.
Right. See, but Susie told you to get the information that this was not. She didn't say that this was for the site.
The next thing in there was the
Keep going.
tape transport. Then there was a belt, and then there was all wrapped up, and the head was wrapped up, and the head cost, not correct, $20,000. How much did it cost? $20?
$56.
Yeah.
Keep going.
But the head we bought because we wrapped it up,
That's certainly wrapped.
right? Sort through the boxes. Tell them you were just doing them a favor. You're not going to do that again. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then carpet and floor and something. Draw a chart. New, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember that bit of the dream still. There was an old carpet with a new carpet on top, and the other one was underneath. One was green, and the other one was purple, like this folder.
Right.
I am being shown my chart. Drawn. Then the main lines are outlined with a highlighter, and the chart was round, and there was this thing. Now that could still happen today. And there's a new carpet in this room, purple. The old one was green. I say it looks very nice. Something. This is not so easy, this place, but wisdom, healing, knowledge, and making better. They all ask you the purpose. Why are you being brought in unison? That's together and synced. Unison is not just together, it's locked, it's synchronized, isn't it? With the Grand Master.
And keep going because I want to.
Grand Master could be chess too.
Right. Keep going.
To head the world. And that was another head. There were so many heads. through
Heads
it.
like holes. Keep
Yeah,
going.
heads were like holes.
Gotcha.
Right.
On day 1.
The only way to do that is with demonstrations that leave those observers suffering in awe
Right.
and wonderment. When
Yeah.
it's done that,
Keep going.
of what they witnessed.
Mm-hmm.
Someone had to be the Grand Master's servant. Otherwise, if the pathway you show them is not headed now, the world will be doomed.
Yeah.
Ab initio.
Yeah.
Well, ab initio is as if it never was in Latin, if I remember rightly.
Yeah. I don't remember what it means.
No, I don't remember either, but I think it's as if it never happened or
Yeah.
something
Then
like
keep going.
that. No, but say it like that. That's why you're doing this. Use the old data.
That's what I'm doing is use the old data. It didn't say use this data. It didn't say compare with this data.
No,
It said use the old
but
data.
I would always compare with the night before's data, always.
But you've never been told to use the old data before.
No, never. But as a rule, if I wasn't in an experiment, when I'm following a murder inquiry and I've separated the questions by days, I would always bring the fundamentals forward on a fundamentals page from the old data.
Right.
I would never ignore the old data.
What is a fundamental? Something that's repeated.
It's something that's repeated.
Well, lips is not, you know, needle in the
No,
lip
they're not
is
every
not
week. No, I
repeated.
understand that.
So it's not a fundamental.
No, not
So-
yet. Maybe it's going to be a fundamental next week.
But then why are you so taken with needle in the lip? if
Because it's the first thing I wrote.
So whenever you write down the first thing, you
Like
write down-
yesterday I wrote shops and workshops.
Okay, and what
The
did you
very
write?
first thing I wrote is something that I pay great heed to, usually. Not always, but usually.
So the very first thing you write down is usually significant.
Yes.
And it was needle in the lip, and what was the next thing?
What? From the first page?
Yeah, needle in the lip, fix.
Needle, stick it into the lip. Fix. Fix has got a box around it, so... I mean, a junkie fixes, you know, with a needle. But this is, they don't stick it in their lip. I mean, a dentist sticks it in your lip.
Has the first statement that you've ever received in an evening ever been figurative as opposed to literal? Has it ever
I
been?
I would imagine it must have been lots of times, but I've never run any comparisons on that.
Gotcha. Okay. Then I think that we've got.
But wrapping up a head and giving it a price, said it cost, and I've got 20,000 and a box around it. Well, the box around it means it's not right. So it wasn't 20,000. It might have been 20. 20,000 if you were writing it in dollars, actually, if you wrote down 20 and then 3 noughts. You used the last 2 noughts for cents, wouldn't you? Or you could do. And that would be 200. And that isn't right either. But it doesn't have to be right. It's in the box. Sort through the boxes. I don't know.
Okay.
Right, then...
See, if you were to ask me, Christopher, if you just take all the content from Susie's dream, just that straight stuff, I wouldn't have said it fits anything. But when you made the list of the fundamentals
Yes.
from the old data,
Yeah.
then
That's
you were
the lesson.
then you were 100%.
Yeah.
You were 100%.
Oh yeah, if we only use that, it's all there.
If you only use if you
Only use what we carried forward,
right,
all
if you
there.
only use what you
and
carry forward,
that
that's why I
disregards
gave
my
it a 10.
needle and the numbness.
Exactly. Except if there was anything about needles and numbness, and you were getting this from Susie's feeling.
Certainly that
Because
we
this
saw a
was about a
skull
lesson.
with all the teeth, but
Right, of course.
But-
that's not the point.
no, that's not.
The point is, I am numb right now.
Yeah, well-
I'm numb.
And that could be what she was trying to tell me you would be.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just telling you that I'm totally blown away when you listed the fundamentals. Otherwise, I would have said it was a complete failure.
Hmm. Anyway, you're the boss, so I don't judge you.
Right, but we have to... So first statements are important, and the fundamentals are important.
Yeah.
And for me, what I will say is that the fundamentals are the most important. What you
Mhm.
define as fundamentals are the things that we must find.
Well, the fundamentals yesterday were shop and workshops and fabricating things making.
Right,
The day before were holes.
right.
Holes
And
in the
basin.
ground.
Holes in the ground and basin.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what we got. 3 for 3 when it comes to fundamentals. Right?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I agree. If we do that,